Today on Soda City Living, a look inside an expansive indoor aquarium store right here in the Midlands. Plus, Sierra puts her skills from a childhood hobby to the test. We're at Fishy Business today to learn more about everything they offer, which is so much. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us how this all got started and when it got started.
My business partner, Guy Griffin, he had a dream. He was really big into fish keeping as a young kid. And in 1986, he got involved with Fishy Business, and everything really has emanated from his vision and his ideas. I came along in 91, and we've been here for 38 years.
Wow. So over the years, I'm sure this place has grown, just the business and space-wise too. This is a huge space.
Yeah, this is about our fifth incarnation. We started out as a small little 1,500 square foot store, and we're now the largest aquatic store in South Carolina, 10,000 square feet.
Who knew it would be right here on the outskirts of downtown Columbia?
Who knew? Definitely not us.
So tell us what you offer. As you walk in, you see a lot of tanks. I'm sure that's a big thing.
Yeah, I think what we offer is an idea or a way to be something different, to have something different in your home, to bring beauty inside the house. I think in the back of everybody's mind is this idea of bringing the ocean into your home and having a focal point, a visual cortex of the house, and this is what we do. We try to make those dreams come true.
For someone who's just getting started with fish keeping, where would you recommend they begin?
Really coming in and getting some education. That's where it starts. A lot of people get into the wrong type of aquarium or keeping the wrong kind of thing when they just weren't given enough information.
What do you think are some of the benefits of having nature inside the home?
One of the biggest is just relaxation. It's been proven psychologically that fish actually lower your blood pressure, unless you work here. Or they, it's just the whole relaxing. That's why we have so many in doctor's offices,
Yes.
dentist offices, things like that.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And like I was saying earlier, just walking through here, I could sit and just stare at the tanks all day. You have a big display of koi fish in the front, and I've just found myself just looking in.
Yep, I have
watching.
ponds at home, and I love having a glass of wine in the afternoon, going out and sitting and just chilling at the end of the day.
What more could you ask for?
This has been great to me. I think it's been great to everybody that we've been able to help, and it's definitely a source of pride.
Joining us now is Kevin, the freshwater manager, to tell us a little bit more about all of the freshwater options here. Thanks for being here.
All right, thanks for having us. We have here over at Fishy Business, a lot of people seem to be of the notion that we're predominantly saltwater, but we actually have over 150 tanks of different varieties of freshwater fish and plants for sale. We also have freshwater invertebrates as well. So we have extensively, if it swims, we have it pretty much.
Wow.
And we can special order if possible.
So for someone starting out with fish keeping, would you recommend they start with freshwater?
Freshwater is always the best place to start, in my opinion, because it is a lot less complicated than saltwater, although it still is creating your own ecosystem, and you have to make sure the water quality is right. We recommend setting up your tank at least 48 hours prior to adding any livestock in any situation, and now we're actually swaying our customers more in the direction of using purified water as opposed to tap water for their freshwater tanks as well as their saltwater tanks.
Good to know.
Yes.
Are there any particular types that you recommend people check out?
Well, if you're starting out a brand new tank, we have a lot of starter fish, mostly tetras and danios and such. We have an asterisk actually on place in the tanks where I price out the fish so they can tell which fish would be best for a brand new aquarium, because they can handle the emotion, because you go through a little cycle period for about a month when you start out any new tank, and it takes a while for it to balance out. So you need to use those rugged fish to start it out with, and then go from there and then get your more prized specimens and usually your more expensive sensitive specimens.
Yeah, kind of work your way up a little bit.
Exactly.
So you obviously have a lot of knowledge about fish. How did you get started?
I got started originally by my mom being a hobbyist when I was growing up, and then when I was 16, I started working in pet shops. I've been in the pet industry ever since as a hobbyist and a mad scientist, I guess, of sorts. But it's been a wonderful career. It's always fun and actually relaxing to come in and look at the fish sometimes. It reduces blood pressure. It's awesome. And I get to play with fish all day and look at fish all day, and that's a wonderful job to have.
That sounds really fun.
Yes. But I've been with Fishy Business now since 2006.
So as you look through the tanks of freshwater, you see some things. You see some plants specifically. Tell us about the plants that people can add to their tanks.
We have a lot of different varieties of total aquatic plants available for freshwater fish. Now, the majority of the plants that we sell are not intended for pond use. It's hard to find pond plants in our area, actually. We have no way of keeping them in full sun, so we can't carry them.
Okay.
The ones we carry are intended for indoor use. And over the years, a lot of different aquatic plants have been banned in South Carolina as noxious weeds. So if you do a planted aquarium, please make sure you dispose of any unwanted plants properly, so we don't have any more that are banned. But we carry a wide variety of different types of plants, some of them very easy and basic, to some of the more red-leaved plants and stuff that require a little more maintenance and more water quality checking.
Yeah.
But water quality is always important in any tank, freshwater or saltwater.
And do the plants help with water quality at all?
They certainly do. They absorb the nitrates and they turn it into oxygen for the fish and keeps the tank in balance. So it works wonderfully when everything's in check.
Definitely. And you did mention pond plants, so I have to ask, do you offer fish for ponds?
Yes, we do. We sure do. We do not have the pond plants, but we do have the pond fish. I've gotten to where I started keeping the pond fish, some koi and goldfish, usually juvenile specimens, nothing too large because the large ones don't travel so well. But usually on up to about an 8-inch size is about as big as we usually get them. But they're excellent to go outdoors. I've been carrying them year round lately because our winters have been so mild. We found a lot of clients haven't been just putting them out in the spring and the summer. They're doing it year round now. So we try to keep them available year round for people. Anything
else you wish people would know about freshwater fish?
There is a lot to be done with freshwater, and when you go to a lot of smaller stores, you see the tip of the iceberg of what's available. Here we carry bread and butter stuff too, so we carry basic fish here, but we also carry more advanced fish that you may not have ever even heard of, even if you're an advanced aquarist in freshwater. I'm still getting in things as long as I've been doing this that I haven't seen before, and I get excited over stuff like that.
Wow.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
All right.
A big component of Fishy Business is service and maintenance. Here to talk about that is Richard. Thanks for being here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
So we're in front of one of 3 trucks that you have. Tell us what you do every week.
Normally we'll go out and maintain aquariums for people that don't have time, or in offices, businesses, where it's one of those things it's easier to job it out to someone like us. We do lots of installs. Whenever our salespeople will sell a tank, we'll take them, install them, teach people how to maintain them themselves. Hopefully they'll learn how to test water along the way and make life easier for all of us, but we keep trying.
What all does maintenance involve when you go out to a home or business?
Normally we'll show up with pre-prepared water. We use reverse osmosis water. That way it's already clean to the point where we can add back the metals and minerals it needs without extra toxins and pollutants. We will scrub algae, do a partial water change filter socks, mechanical filters, chemical filters, things like that. Typically we will suggest they slow down on feeding and speed up on changes. They don't always listen, but we keep trying.
Yeah, so about how long can people go in between maintenance?
Beautiful question, thank you. That's directly related to the amount of food in. If you're feeding them like there's no tomorrow, you flush the toilet like there's no tomorrow. They live in their toilet, it's nasty, I'm sorry, it's true. On that note, you don't want to over clean. If you kill the good digestive bacteria, bad things happen also.
Right.
Yeah.
So it really depends on how the owner is upkeeping, right?
It does, or the equipment. If you throw a ton of money at the equipment, you may get away with doing a water change once every 3 months or so. If you want to do the manual labor, the elbow grease may make it where a water change once every month makes up for it.
Well, thank you for all of that information.
Yes, ma'am.
We
Yes, ma'am. Very
appreciate it.
welcome. Yes, ma'am.
We had a blast at Fishy Business today. The fun isn't over yet. Next week, we'll be back to learn about beautiful saltwater fish.